Okay, thank you and welcome to this informative video about which I'm gonna talk about autonomous aircraft, also known as flying taxis. And first of all, just to expound on that, what's the meaning of autonomous aircraft? Autonomous aircraft, these are self-flying aircraft which do not need pilots or do not need the crew to be on board so that the aircraft could move or could take you from place to place. Um, as we know, you need a pilot to be on board so that the aircraft could take off. But this is the meaning of autonomous. First of all, have you ever wondered how congestion? Have you been in a traffic jam for hours and hours, especially when you go to New York or Washington or these big cities, Las Vegas, mention them. Have you ever wondered how these traffic jams and congestion will be solved? Well, here is a little informative video about how the aviation industry is really taking a big step to just solve these problems. And my main thesis will be the invention of these autonomous passenger aircraft or self-flying of aircraft. It's a big step in the aviation industry, which will definitely increase safety, reduce efficiency cost, and decrease congestion, especially in big cities, and therefore improving transportation by a huge margin. Um, Going on to my main point, my first main point, which is these autonomous aircraft will be so efficient, therefore increasing safety. And someone will just wonder and say, how will they be efficient and how will they be safe? Uh, and there's no pilot on board. How will we ensure our safety? Well, first of all, it's computer-based system. First, we're in a world of technology, and technology is really developing. For instance, for just a brief to brief you is that in this aircraft we fly, or these aircraft that fly, they used of this they use computerized systems, especially in the autopilot, especially while you're on cruise altitude. You'll just plug in the information, the altitude you want, select the altitude, the speed you want, and then just plug it in the route, and it will just fly you smoothly. And the pilot needs to just take over in case of any emergency, in case of high turbulence, or trying to avoid collision on a collision course. You just have to take over. They also monitored. These autonomous passenger aircraft will be monitored by pilots on the ground. They'll have ground stations, aircraft stations, which will be monitored by the use of cameras and satellites. And also, these passenger aircraft are installed with Google Maps. It's just, for example, on your phone, you can drive from here to someone's place without any knowledge. For the first time, by the use of Google Maps, there will um, also be the use of uh, Google Maps. My second point, which will be my second point, which will cut efficiency cost by a big margin. For instance, these autonomous aircraft use batteries, charged batteries, lithium ion batteries, and this will cut the cost for gas. And another thing is that as this technology really um, start to show off into big cities, it will be cheaper, because they invented this technology so that they could help uh, solve the problem of congestion. My next, third, and the last point is it will reduce traffic congestion in these big cities by a huge margin. Um, for instance, it will ease traffic burden in cities, as well as reduce spaces for parkings. You know how many cars, thousands and thousands of cars, um, are in New York per day, and can't imagine how that congestion is. Another thing is they are not they don't use gas, therefore will be environmental friendly. And lastly, my conclusion is that the emergence of these flying cars will have a great impact in our future economy, in because they will increase safety, cut cost efficiency, as well as decrease congestion by a huge margin. And I would like to leave you with a quote from Farrar, who is a journalist, who said that for decades our aircraft have connected our planet, and in the near future they'll literally connect our communities, and there's no doubt about that. So thank you, and may you have a blessed one.